Right. Oh, there you go. We are live. We are live. Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm just going to wait for 3 or 5 minutes to. Let's wait for some people to join before I start. And there you go. Somebody's watching. At least one person is watching. Thank you. Guys, it's my first webinar. I don't know how can I see who's there? I can't see your name. So anyway, let's wait a little bit. So whoever is watching there right now, leave a message there. What's your name? What's your name? Oh, there you go. 2 people are watching now. Okay, guys. Okay, we've got more people coming in. So, guys, I am doing this live streaming because I'm going to do a webinar, a free webinar for all. Привет, привет, как дела? Все хорошо, все в порядке, спасибо. So, guys, this is a live streaming, as I said, because I want to do a webinar, a free webinar for all the Russian learners, for the people who are learning Russian, who want to visit Russia, who want to live in Russia, to study in Russia, to work in Russia. Why not? Right? So I want to do a video to tell you about this webinar, how you can join me, how you can sign up. It's free. It's a complimentary webinar. And I want to do this live video right now to learn more about you, to see what sort of goals you've got with the Russian language. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to create in your life? And here we go. We have some people joining us. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Texlahoma Girl. Texlahoma Girl. That's a very nice username. But what's your real name? Okay, let's get to know each other here. I mean, I want to create a family atmosphere here. So, guys, please. So we have 9 people now there online. Just write something to me. Where are you joining us from? What's your name? Why do you want to learn Russian? What are your goals with the Russian language? Or why you are a subscriber of this channel, maybe? Yeah. Я сейчас в Греции, да. Yankee Doodle. Yes, I am in Greece now. So okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of Russian, a little bit of English, because I know that we have a lot of people from Russia. David. Oh, right. David, very nice to meet you. So, guys, I am in Greece now. As you know, most of you, I used to live in Russia, in St. Petersburg, with my wife. Now we live in Greece, but of course we're going to be visiting Russia and St. Petersburg quite often. Okay. Hi, Fernando. Hi, Fernando. Yolanda is there. Hi, Yolanda. Welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining me. Fernando is in Poland. Bobby. Yes. Hi, Bobby. Good. Thank you for sharing your real name with us. Texlahoma Girl. Okay, so guys, again, why I'm doing this live video? Because I am going to do a webinar, a free webinar for everybody, for all the Explore Russian fans. In that webinar, I haven't got the exact dates yet, so I'm going to answer all your questions around the Russian language, exploring the Russian culture, the life in Russia, work in Russia, studies in Russia, language schools in Russia for those who you want to visit Russia and study the Russian language in one of those schools in Russia. Okay, so good. Okay, let's start then. Good. I was going to ask now. So Fernando is saying my aim is to doing business with Russian companies. Very good. Okay. So, guys, I would like to ask you why the Russian language? Why do you want to learn Russian? Why? There are so many languages out there. Why Russian? Why is that important to you? So imagine if you, let's say that today you're fluent in Russian. You can communicate in Russian. Why is that a game changer for you in your life? What can that do for you in your life? Okay. Yolanda is saying, because I love Russian culture, Russian literature. Okay, guys, give me more reasons. Why? Why the Russian languages? Why? Why? Why the Russian language? Give me reasons. I want to see some, I want you to surprise me. Give me some special reasons why one would love to learn Russian and master Russian. Not only learn, but go deep into the Russian culture, the Russian language. Why? Hello, somebody's joined there. Bobby, I want to visit Russian. Bobby says, I want to visit Russia. I love the people. I would consider relocating there. Really? Love that. I love that. I lived in Russia for 2 years. For 2 years in St. Petersburg, my lovely St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg is here for me, right here. There you go. That's St. Petersburg, here for me. So, and I love the Russian people, yes. I love the Russian people too, Bobby. That's the perfect reason. That's why the Russian language for me, language learning, language for me is the people. It's not a set of, it's not vocabulary and a set of rules, grammar rules. It's the people, communication, interaction. And through that communication and interaction, you get to understand yourself better. It's self-inquiry, it's self-exploration, self-awareness, right? Okay, so David is from England, right? Yeah, he's Angli. Okay, David wants to travel around the country, also travel to Odessa. Yes, I've been to Odessa too, David. Odessa is beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Right. So guys, give me more information about you. I want to learn. I want to get to know you better and see how I can serve you better. Tell me more. Why? Tell me about your story. Why the Russian language? What brought you to this channel to explore Russian? Tell me more. Maybe some of you have a question for me right now regarding Russia. Give me more information there. Okay. So, okay, let me give you a little bit of my backstory. Why I learned Russian. Okay. So, a lot of reasons. I remember I lived in Greece at that time. I was 21 years old, and somebody gave me a CD back then, a double CD, 2 CDs. It was the Russian Army Choir. Yes. And that was the first time I listened to Russian music, and Kalinka, and Smuglyanka, and Ochi Chorny, and all these things. And I loved the music. I loved the music so much. Then I started searching online, and I found that song, Nadezhda, Anna German. When I listened to that song by Anna German, I fell in love. I fell in love with the Russian language and the music. And I downloaded the text, the lyrics, and I was going through word by word there in that song, and trying to learn Russian, starting with that song, Nadezhda. Can you believe that? Yeah, this is what happened. This is what happened. And then more connections, with that love, between me and the Russian language. I love mathematics. I studied mathematics all my life. And you know that Russian mathematicians are some of the best mathematicians in the world. And there's a lot of history there. Soviet mathematicians like Andrei Kolmogorov, for example. And my mentor, Albert Shiryaev, who is 85 years old in Moscow now. He's still the director of the departments of mathematics in Moscow State University. Mathematics, another connection. I had so much respect and love and admiration for Russian mathematicians and Russian mathematics. Big love. And as I said, the music and the alphabet, the letters, that was the Cyrillic alphabet, those letters, so different to the Latin letters, okay? All that. So all this different, let's say loves around the Russian language. This is what, drew me to the Russian language and culture. And how I learned Russian. I learned Russian in London. So when in 2009, I left Greece, I moved to London to start my career. It was the onset of the financial crisis back then. So I am in London, and in London, I get to meet a lot of Russian people, and the Russian church in London, in South Kensington. What's going on there? Yeah. So okay. So Bobby's saying, yeah, she's preparing Thanksgiving lunch. Good. Happy Thanksgiving, Bobby. That's right. Bobby says, we have much more in common with Russia than we have differences. Yes. I was having the same conversation with a friend, with Jesse, who lives in Colorado, and he says exactly the same thing, between America and the US. Max. No, Max. No. This is a free webinar, my friend. Yeah. Join us. Макс Некрасов. Макс, где ты? Где ты живешь? В Москве, в Питере? Шутишь, да? Ну ладно. You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome. So, Max, tell us where Oriol? Sorry, is that, Max, I'm going to be totally honest with you. Is that a city? Oriol. I know what Oriol means, but is that a city? I'm not aware. Okay, good. Right, so as I was saying, guys, my backstory again. In London, I have a lot of you are reaching out to me and saying, I can't practice the Russian language. I can't find people, native speakers of the Russian language. I was in London, and trust me, when I became intentional, like I want to learn Russian, all of a sudden, I could hear Russian all around me. On the bus, at the bus stop, in the shop. I used to go to all these places where the Russians used to hang out. They had their groups, their communities, the Russian church, as I said. When you become intentional about achieving a goal, like learning a language, learning Russian, you can find these people to practice the language with. You can find them, and if you can't find them, you live in a city in a city that's not London. London is quite international, cosmopolitan. You have people from all around the world. You can learn any language in London if you want. You can do it online. There are so many people you can practice the language with online. italki, community teachers, Facebook groups, forums. You just go out there on social media and say, hey, I want to practice the Russian language. Who can help me? Go out there and ask people if you're looking for somebody to practice the language with. I need some practice. I love your languages. Where are the Russian people? Go out to social media out there. You'll find the communities. You'll find people that are ready to help you. There are groups you can join. Okay? Город Орел. Thank you, Max. Good. Okay, близко к Москве. Okay, Орел. This is something new, Max. I didn't know. Thank you. Right, Орел. Right, near Moscow. Very good. Thank you, Max. So, what I was saying, I forgot. Yeah, around practice. Okay, let me give you some more tips here around the Russian language. I think that will be useful to most of you. So this is my biggest tip when you want to learn Russian or any language: immersion. Immersion, right? How do I immerse myself in the language? How can I expose myself to the language? How can I surround myself with the language? How can I do that? I used to watch films. I used to watch series, right? Russian series online. I used to, isolate myself. I was in London when I learned Russian. I used to totally isolate myself from the English-speaking environment, and I was watching those series for 2-3 hours online. And when you immerse yourself into this process, into learning, it's amazing how you can pick the language so fast. I used to watch this series for 2 hours, and after 2 hours, right? Okay, I watched 2 hours watching a series, like a film. I would go out, right? And I would feel like, I would feel as if I live in Russia, as if the next person that will come will approach me is going to be a Russian, ready to speak to me in Russian. I would, switch my computer off, go outside, and I was, I was ready. I was in autopilot, like in Russian mode, Russian language mode, right? So immersion. I would go to those meetups, meetup.com in London, Russian meetups with Russian speakers, for those who learn Russian. And I would be the only, I was the only Greek around Russians. Crazy, amazing. All of them speaking in Russian fast. I was like, trying hard to understand them. In the beginning, it was like my head was working like 100%. My CPU was working 100% in order to understand these guys, Russians. Okay, but that was a great practice for me in London, like exposing myself totally, like being naked, not literally, but you see what I mean, like exposing myself, like hit me, all Russians here in London, come on, talk to me in Russian, everything 100% in Russian, talk to me. I want to learn the language. I was intentional as I said. Okay, again, on Sundays, the Russian church in South Kensington in London. Again, the only Greek guy. Well, there were a few Greeks there as well. I mean, because Greeks are also Christian Orthodox. So on Sundays in London, with all those Russians around me. So after the service, we used to go for long walks in Hyde Park in London. Again, one Greek among 10 Russians. Everybody, talking, speaking to each other in Russian. And the one Greek guy, myself, trying to understand them. It was so much fun. So much fun. I used to spend with them hours, the whole Sunday, next to Russians. That was immersion. This is what I'm saying. This is what I mean by saying immerse yourself into the culture, into the language. Sorry for this run. Okay. Yes, Yolanda is asking, где вы нашли эти русские сериалы и в интернете? Трудно найти хороший сериал с субтитрами. Yolanda, you can go to YouTube and you can search for Russian series with subtitles or Russian films with English subtitles, or go to Google. There are so many out there. So many out there. The good ones. Yeah, that's a good point. The good ones. Yolanda, have you checked all those? My list with all the films with the English subtitles that I have on the website explorerussian.com. Okay, have a look there. Right. So у меня сейчас проблемы с интернетом. Max left us. Так что до встречи. До встречи, Макс. Приятного общения. Right. So, yeah, that was the tip. That was the tip I want to share with you around immersion, how to learn the Russian language by immersing yourselves. What else? What else? Guys, maybe you want to ask me some questions. Do you have any questions for me around the Russian language, around the Russian life, living in Russia? As I said to you, 2 years in St. Petersburg, my lovely St. Petersburg. And of course, as I said, I now live in Greece, but I will be visiting Russia, of course, with my wife. My wife is Russian. She's from St. Petersburg. Right. When you speak, David, when you speak, do you still have to think about what case to use, or does it eventually become natural? What do you think, David? I think you answered your own question. Yeah, in the beginning, David, there is a lot of thinking. There is a lot of thinking. Okay, позвонит тебе. Okay, dative case. There's a lot of thinking in the beginning. A lot of thinking. But as you practice, of course, as you practice with people, the more you practice, the more you repeat the same things again and again, you get there, right? David, there are a lot of good articles on the website. Again, okay, explorerussian.com. Well, you know the website, I guess. So I need to, reach out to me. You can send me an email as well, David. I will send you to the right. I will direct you to the right resources. Okay. Good. Bobby says, I found a great TV app on the Apple Store. I watched Russian TV series. Oh, good. Yes, please, Bobby, tell us what's the name of that app, please. Okay. Не за что. David, thank you. Thank you. Спасибо with A, yeah? Spa. Не спо. Spasibo. Okay, good. David, why do you want to learn Russian? Tell us. Oh, you said it already that you want to travel. You want to travel, right? You want to travel their country. Good. Okay. Anybody else there? Why should somebody learn Russian? Why should somebody learn Russian? It was a typo, I know. Good, buddy. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so guys, as I said, I'm going to do a free live webinar on Zoom. I'm sure that most of you know this platform, Zoom. It's like Skype, okay? So I'm going to do a live webinar, in which webinar I want to answer all your questions around language learning, around around the Russian language, the Russian culture. Most of you want to live in Russia, to spend some time in Russia, around Russian visas. I don't know, any questions you might have. Okay, so how you register, how you sign up for this webinar, you send me an email to Angelos at explorerussian.com. Okay, you send me an email with 1 or 2 questions you have that you want me to answer when I do the webinar. Okay, David is asking, do you have any funny culture clash stories with Russian people? David, good question. Good question. Let me think. Oh yeah. Oh well, it's not a culture clash, to be honest, but it's just something that I don't know, because before going to Russia, before visiting Russia and moving to Russia, I used to I had so many people, Russian people around me in London. I sort of, I don't know. I always, I've always understood the Russian people. It was easy. The communication between us was always easy, David. But something just popped to my mind is this: when I used to visit somebody in St. Petersburg, okay, and I was just entering their flat. I would go like, Andrei Alexandrovich. Okay, I was going to, I wanted to shake hands, and before entering the flat, right? So I was there, like, they opened the door, and I was like, hello, nice to see you, and say, no, you never shake hands if you are, unless you have entered already their flat. Okay, so that's something that Russians don't do it. It's I don't know. Maybe somebody from Russia can give us more information there. But you can shake hands only after you've entered their home, their space, the flat. Okay, that was something that was interesting, very interesting to me. Okay, that was one. So again, regarding the webinar, guys, as I said, this webinar is going to be holistic. It's going to involve I'm going to talk about a lot of things, because as I said, language learning, I mean, this channel is holistic. You see me sometimes, I talk about mindset, I talk about goals, I talk about communication, about human connection, connecting with people, communication. understanding each other, mutual understanding between nations, between, for example, the United States and Russia, as Bobby said earlier. Okay, it's language learning is traveling, is understanding yourself, a lot of things. With language learning, you can work on yourself. It's like self-development. You work on your fears of communication, right? How do I sound to a native speaker? They will I may sound funny. My accent is funny. My Russian accent, or I'm not confident, talking to native speakers. It's how do I sound? Do I make mistakes? It's inner work, fears, right? And you can take that inner work and you can apply it to other things in your life. Okay, to work on your confidence and see it as a game, see it as a learning process. There's always learning. The more you expose yourself, the more you show up, the more you speak to people without the fear of making mistakes, the more confidence starts building up, and you can apply that same confidence to other things you're learning, not only languages, anything you're learning. Okay? Thank you, Yolanda. Я тоже рад. С нетерпением ждем вебинара. Yes, please send me an email, Yolanda. Okay, send me an email with your questions, and I will make sure I'll answer everybody's questions. Okay. Good. Okay, so I've been live for 30 minutes now, more than 30 minutes. Guys, unless you have any questions for me, I'm going to call it a webinar, no, a live video. The webinar is coming. Okay. So I'd like to thank you so much. You will find information in the description as well for how to sign up for this webinar, this coming webinar. What I'm going to do, so you send me an email with your questions. This is an RSVP invitation. Only those who will send me an email will get an invitation from me. Okay. So you send me your questions, a couple of questions you want me to answer in that webinar, and I will get back to you with a couple of dates and times that you can attend the webinar. Okay. Suleiman, thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Please make sure you send me an email if you want to attend the webinar with any questions you have for me. I will answer everybody's questions. Is anybody watching from Russia right now? Anybody watching from Russia right now? No? No Russians here? Anybody from Russia? Okay, good. Спасибо, большое спасибо. Боби, большое спасибо. Говорит. Не за что. David, the same to you. Good. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating and sending all these comments. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to your emails. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the webinar I'm going to do very, very soon. Send me an email. Again, don't forget, send me an email. So I send you the dates with the link you need to use to join us. It will be a webinar on Zoom. You know this platform, Zoom. It's like Skype, as I said. I will give you the link to join. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, guys. And I will be in touch very soon. Thank you so much. Спасибо большое. Всем спасибо.